Hi, and welcome back. Today we're going to make a Halloween haunted house tunnel card with our Cricut machine. Alright, so there are no surprises later. I have just found out that this card will not fit in a standard envelope. It's just too thick, so you will have to make your own envelope. I am Lucine, and this is one of my Cricut how-tos videos. Please check my channel for other how-tos. Alright, the link for this Cricut file will be in the comment section so that you can actually click on it to get it. There will be other ways to get the link at the end of the video. Let's move on to the Cricut machine. Okay, this is what the mat is going to look like when you pull it up if you've got it set at 75%. Now you've got 6 pieces of glue. You've got 3 that are attached on the left and 3 that are attached on the right. If you unattach those, they will take up 3 mats instead of just 2. So unless you're going to use 11 by 8.5 cardstock instead of your 12 by 12, you want to keep those attached. If you do unattach the blue pieces, make sure you don't unattach the lines there from the bottom 2 pieces, because that would unattach your score marks and you don't want to do that. The other pieces are grouped to the black shadow that's behind them. You can move those around, you can leave them where they are, it doesn't matter. They're not attached to anything, they're just grouped. If you want to change the color of something, you can go to the layer panel, select that one thing and change the color. I've got the colors of the house matching the trick-or-treaters, so you don't have to use quite so many scraps. This black extra piece here is just going to be a shadow that's going to go between, is going to go under the house and the moon. Okay, let's go ahead and cut. All right, we've got all our pieces cut and we've got them laid out. What we're going to do now is put the tunnel card together. And let's put our card together by checking on our supplies. The first thing I've got here are some pop dots. You're not really going to need those, but I'm going to use them to make my haunted house stick out more. You definitely need some glue. I'm going to use our glitter glue. Some silver ink would be really nice. You will need a pair of scissors. You will definitely need a bone folder. And 4 clips will be really helpful. These are quilt clips. If you don't have that, some clothespins or some binder clips should work just as well. I've decided to go ahead and do this in red. It seems to show up a little better. The blue didn't show up very good on the camera. So what you get after you cut is you've got your 2 side pieces that are already scored. You have your back piece, which is a solid piece, and then you've got 3 pieces with the oval cut out. Each oval is progressively smaller as it goes up. So the oval that is the biggest with the least edging is your back oval, and then you have your middle oval, and the one with the most edge is your top oval. So we're going to put those over here, and we're going to start folding our, it's a simple accordion fold, in, out, in, out, in, and out. And then you're going to fold this. Now you notice that I've got solid paper. If you don't use solid paper, you might want to use a double-sided cardstock, because both sides of this is going to show. That's why I'm doing it in a solid color. It just seems easier. And then fold your other one in, out, and in. And it really doesn't matter if you go out in, in, out, and out, because they're both going to be opposite anyway. So if you've got them both going up here, you just got to turn it around. Actually, you want them both going where the edge is up for your middle piece. So we're going to start with that. Alright, so we're going to sew our back piece on first. Now the back piece is slightly less than the full 5 inches. Just about a 1/16 of an inch less. Okay, that's going to make it fit in an envelope, because when you glue the piece on, you're adding the width of the paper on both sides. Alright, I'm going to glue this whole piece here, and I'm going to slide that in all the way in and press it down. And I'm going to do this side. Okay, I'm going to glue this in. I'm going to put this in, like so. What happens when trying to do this at 12 in the morning? Alright, I'm going to put that down. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to clip the edges just to hold it while I do this side. Now I'm going to push that side down nice and tight. And I'm going to take the next piece, which is the one with the biggest hole, and that's this one. Now, these are actually even slightly smaller than the bottom. I did about 6 of these before I came up with the way to get this where it would lay flat to fit in the envelope. If you make all your pieces the same size, you get it like this, because the sides take up that little extra space that don't give you enough room to close it. So this piece is a little bit smaller than even the back piece. So when I put it on here, I'm not going to fill it in all the way to the back.
Panel in here to make it a little more clear what I mean. The second and third panels do not go all the way to the fold. You want to keep those 1/8 of an inch away from the fold. That's what's going to let it lay flat.
Do is line up the bottom and top and leave that open. Make sure it's nice and flat. Then I'm going to close this and I'm going to put my other 2 clips on it to hold it in place. And then I'm going to take these off and I'm going to open that. And I'm going to glue the outside edge. And I'm going to put this down and I'm going to make sure this is 100% flat. And I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to make sure that it's flat all the way across. If it is, I'm going to clip it. Oops. And I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to make sure it's flat all the way across. Flat. And then I'm going to clip it. Okay. And that long is all it takes for that to dry. So I'm going to take this side off. Open that. I'm going to glue the same exact way as I did the last one. A little there. It's going to go in about 1/16 of an inch left over. Not much, just a smidgen. And I'm going to put that down. I'm going to bring that over and I'm going to clip it. And I'm going to unclip this one, open it up, and I'm going to put glue on the edges there. It's coming out the sides. Never did that before. Okay, and I'm going to fasten this down tight. Make sure that's tight. Check the top. If it's tight, then I'll fasten it. Check the bottom. Make sure it's tight. And fasten it. Now all I've got left to do is the top. Now normally I actually decorate these before I put them together, but it's totally irrelevant whether you do or not. Let me just clean my tip off. Don't know why that's leaking there. Okay. Now I'm going to do this side. And I'm going to put glue on the whole thing. Now the top piece is the only piece that is the full 5 inches. So I'm going to put that on right up against the edges, the top and the bottom and the side, right on the edge, and I'm going to clip it.
off. I'm going to glue all on that. I'm going to bring this flat. Make sure it's stretched out as flat as it'll go. And I'm going to clip it. Get the top nice and flat. The bottom nice and flat. Now I'm going to set that aside and let it dry while I work on the rest of the pieces.
A little side note here, the quilt clips do have little needles in the bottom to keep them in place. So if you decide to clip your finished product closed, make sure you put a little piece of cardstock underneath that. It's not going to matter on the inside pieces, but on the top piece, you're not going to want little holes in it. Now comes the fun part. Let's hunt the card. All right, let's start building our pieces. We're going to start with the shadow pieces. Now you may notice that you've got two shadow pieces of the house. One is bigger than the other. The bigger one is actually just a shadow piece. It's going to go all the way in the back, behind in the back of the card. The other one is the base of our house. So we're going to put that together. Now we've got a shadow piece of our trick-or-treaters, which is a little bit bigger than all the trick-or-treaters put together. There are two bat shadow pieces, and these have the little tabs on them. The tabs are what you're going to stick them on with. Then you've got two ghosts. Actually, you've got three ghosts, two with tabs, and one that doesn't have a tab that's going to go on the top outside. And then you've got a pumpkin top. That's not actually a shadow, it's the top of the pumpkin. And the other two little black pieces, I don't know why there's two, there should be one. We won't need them. We're going to do our ghost. All right, put a little bit of glue on the shadow and then put your ghost down on top. What you want to do is have your offset as close to the tab as you can. I'm going to have mine on the top and a little over toward the tab. And then you do your other ghost with the tab. Make sure you've got the tab going the other direction. Doesn't really matter which ghost is on which side. Just make sure you've got one tab going off to the left and one going to the right. And then you've got one that doesn't have a tab at all. That's going to be on the outside. Then you've got your other one and the tab there. And you put your glue on make sure you put your glue on the right side. And make sure you glue the ghost on the right side. Like that one I almost put on upside down. Flip it over. Yeah. Okay. And the offset toward the tab. There's your ghost. Okay. If you feel like you can skip this, then you can go ahead and fast forward. Put all your pieces in, and you're done. But if you want to follow along, then please stick with me while I do the entire card. All right, now we've got the ghost with the ghost. It's not a ghost. We've got the jack-o'-lantern with the tab. And that's done. And we're going to do the two little bats. Again, you want a bat with the tab on the left and a bat with the tab on the right. And try to do your offset toward the tab. It's just going to look a little better once you glue it in. So we're going to glue that bat there. And down. Just a little black showing. And we're going to glue that one down with just a little black showing. Okay. Alright, so looking good. Now we're going to do the trick-or-treaters. Now, the trick-or-treaters, you can just start on one side and just go all the way across, or you can decide you want one of your trick-or-treaters in front of the others. I think I'll put my witch in front, so I'm going to start on the side with the little guy with the cape, and I'm going to glue him down. And again, the back is a little bit bigger and it is solid, so I'm going to do that as an offset, and I'm going to have the offset just a little bit toward the top. So I'm going to glue my guy down, and I'm going to squish it down a little bit so the black shows mostly at the top. Then I'm going to put my devil on. And again, if you prefer to have the devil be the one that's in front, then you put him on last. And with this little pitchfork, he'd be kind of cute on the top, but I'm going to put the witch on top because I think the witch is cute too. Now I'm going to start from the other end. And that would be the little orange, sorry, the little yellow guy. I'm going to put him down. And then I'm going to do the little orange girl. I guess she's a princess or a fairy or something. And she's going to be on top of the yellow. Then the witch on top of everything. And I actually kind of like the trick-or-treat bag of the little orange girl. So I think I might go ahead and flop that up on top so that the little orange trick-or-treat bag shows as well. And there you've got all your trick-or-treat kids running. And that is going to be at the bottom of the outside of the card. Okay, now let's put our haunted house together. So we're going to start with the smaller of the black shadow bases and the purple base, or whatever color you decide to make it. It's the only one that has the little awning. It's the biggest piece. And then you've got a little green piece and you've got a black piece. And that green piece I sliced out, and since I sliced it with shapes, it's not quite rounded in places. So you might want to take your scissors and make it look a little more bushy. And then I'm going to glue that right down on top. I forgot. I want to make that bob wire. I think it's bob wire. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it looks like bob wire. So I'm going to get my silver ink, and I'm going to ink that bob wire silver. I think I'll use the back of the moon here so I don't get ink all over everything. And I'm also going to ink the metal parts of the haunted house on the black background. So I'm just going to take my silver ink. I'm not going to do the shadow, I'm just going to do the house itself. And then that's a smaller black piece. And ink up all the pieces that look like they're metal. Okay, now I'm going to glue my purple piece down. And all the house pieces, except for the back shadow that's over in already laying down on side the card, are exactly the right size. So there shouldn't be anything showing anywhere that's not supposed to be showing, because that's just part of the house there. Okay. Then the roof is the next piece. I chose to make it red. You may have wanted a darker purple or a black roof. I don't know. Put the roof down, and then the door. Glue the door in. And I'm going to make the trim of the door the same color as the roof, and I'm going to make the steps the same color as the roof. So I'm going to glue the door down, and that is a tiny piece of the step right there on the door that goes toward the inside of the house. So you know that your door is not upside down if that little step there is facing inside. Then you've got two little pieces of step. I'm just going to put a little lines of glue here and put the little step pieces right there. Doesn't matter if you get a little too much glue how far over it goes, because the bush is going to cover that anyway. So just put those down. This is why I would have had my tweezers, which I forgot to use, but it would have been nice to use my tweezers there. Okay, then I'm going to glue my bush down. Oops, I'm going to trim it a little bit so it looks like a bush. And there's that. I'm going to put my windows together. You've got the yellow part so it looks like the lights are on inside. It doesn't really matter which direction your window goes. It's going to be crooked anyway. It's designed to be crooked. So I think I'll have my pointy edge go toward the top. Yeah, like so. And I think I'll make it a little crooked. Yeah. Then you've got the attic window, which I didn't get the little piece out. Let's use my pen and get that out. Okay, so I'm going to glue the light back behind the attic window. Again, this would be a good time to use my tweezers. I don't know why they're just laying there on the side there when I should be picking them up and using them. Okay. And glue my attic window right there. It doesn't have to be precise or exact. You can put it anywhere you want. Then my door has a window. It actually had two little window pieces at the bottom too. I took those off because I didn't much care for those. But there are two little window lights, and I'm going to put those right there. I'll use my pen to pick it up since I'm too lazy to go over and get my tweezers. And that works fine. And there is a haunted house. Voila. Alright, let's put our card together. It is totally and completely dry and ready to go. I'm going to start with the shadow and the moon. That little piece of cardstock there. Okay, so I'm going to put the moon about halfway down. I want plenty of moon to show. I'm going to go ahead and glue the moon to the back of the shadow. And then I'm going to glue that whole thing inside. Now, I'm going to use the pop dots to put the back of my haunted house in. We're just going to give it just a little bit more definition. So just put a few pop dots here and there. If you decide you don't want to use the pop dots, you absolutely don't have to. If you want a little extra dimension and you don't have any pop dots, you can put some little dots of dried glue on the back, and then when they dry, that'll give them a little definition, and then glue it in. But either way, it really doesn't matter. It'll look just as good if it's flat. I just like definition. Okay, now I'm going to put in one bat and one ghost. And you can actually put those anywhere you want, but I'm going to put a ghost on the top on one side and at the bottom of the other side, and I'm going to put a bat in the opposite direction on the other side. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the glue on the top of the tab. You're going to go under that first layer, and you're going to press it down. And that's going to come up with that layer then. Then you're going to put your bat, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put glue on the tab. You're going to decide where you want that bat. And you're going to set it down, and you're going to, down here a little bit. Press it down, and the bat is going to stick to that layer. Didn't get quite enough glue on that. I don't think I got quite enough glue on that one. Might have to do that again later. All right, now I'm going to go to the next layer, and I'm going to put glue on that. And I'm going to slide it under the next layer going up. And I'm going to pop that down. And then I'm going to put some glue on the tab of the bat. And slide that under the next layer going up and glue that in. Oops. My bats are trying to fly away today. There we go. Put it down, and there it's on the next layer. And then I'm going to put the ghost up on the top corner. Oh, forgot the pumpkin. I'm going to put that down in front of the grass on the second layer, I think. The second layer from the back, not the second layer from the top. So it's a little bit closer to the grass than the house. So I'm going to put that down just a little underneath it, so only about 3/4 of it shows. And I'm going to glue that in. And you can put a greeting on it. You can put some names on it. Oh, there goes my bat. I knew they didn't have enough glue on it. Let's do that bat again. Put it up there. Press that down. And there it goes. And there's your haunted. And there's your card. All ready to fold and give to somebody. Ah! I almost forgot the trick-or-treaters. Alright, let's put the trick-or-treaters on. I'm going to line those up to the bottom. Now we're in business. And as you see, it will now fold completely flat, so it will fit in your envelope, a 5x7 envelope, so you can mail it. So that ends our tunnel card. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you make lots of tunnel cards, and I would absolutely love to see them all. You can get in touch with me at my blog, lindalucine@blogspot.com. You can ask questions right here on the YouTube channel, Lucine Smith. I have a Facebook group, Cricut Lovers Friendship Group. Please feel free to join, or you can email me. So until next time, that's it. Bye.